Welcome back. I just have a really quick video for you today. I want to talk about some of the different ways that you can vary this design. This is, of course, the one that we made yesterday in the last class. This guy ended up really straight, but if I wanted to take my pliers and tweak even the main trunk to make it a little more bonsai-ish, then I could have done that when I made it. I did want to come on this morning and make this guy. This one I've made without any kind of main stone. I stepped up my sizes of wire. I used a 16 gauge with a 24 gauge instead of the 18 gauge and the 26 gauge in the last one. And I did that because there's no stone here to lend rigidity and strength. And I wanted this to just hold up without like getting bent out of shape. So I did step up my thickness of wire. I did put a moonstone bead on one of my branches. I did make one of these before, and I used a cabochon, a small cabochon, kind of as a moon. And I was able to wrap enough of the branches around the front and the back of it to kind of capture it. Now that piece sold, so I don't know how it's doing today, if that cab ever fell out of it or what. I've never made another piece like it because I was never super happy with its hold. But I decided to do it with a bead this time because that's not going to go anywhere until this wire breaks. So I just thought I'd give you that as an idea. When I made this, I just took a round object and I literally wrapped my wire around it so I had a perfect circle. And then I did my two bands and my bails and I wrapped around the neck here. So this is very similar to the frames we've made in other classes. But I just put a bead on it and you just kind of... It's basically the same as making this other one, but without the stone, so it's actually a little bit easier. You might want to try this first. I brought this one back down because I didn't put the 3 roots on it. I just brought all of my wires up around my stone. If that's a look that you prefer, then by all means do it that way rather than the 3 kind of roots. That's just the preference that I always had. This is a bumblebee jasper. It's a beautiful stone. There is a slight chip in the side here, but it was like that when I started. I actually put extra branches on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I put an extra 4 wires on this. And I wanted to show you this spot here where I twisted this branch too much and the twist actually came over the trunk. And that was an issue for one of the potential customers that was thinking about buying this pendant and didn't. So that's what I was talking about when you can twist these branches too much and the twist actually goes across the front of your trunk where you can see it. Now, I was reluctant. I almost didn't bring this piece in. This is not a piece that I have made. This is a piece that came from China. Can we get a good close look at it here? You can see that they've only done 3 wraps on all of these. They did not fill this outside frame with coils. They also just did like every 2 wires twisted up from the same point from the top of the trunk. Why I wanted to bring this down though is because I really like how they did the rainbow chips. So that's something that I would encourage. You can always use chips on all of your branches and do something like that. But even this bottom, they just kind of did the 1 wrap on each of the wires. This whole thing, I mean, when they make things in China, they make them for production. They're not being paid very much for the time, so they have to do things quickly. But, I mean, that's the difference between doing something in 20 minutes and taking an hour to do it. So I just want you to appreciate some of the finer details in the trees that we're making here in these videos. So that's kind of a quick video. The other type of tree that I have also seen lots of is when they just take like a random rough stone that has a flat side that can sit down on your table, and then they wrap wires around that stone and bring them together on the top, and they actually build a 3-dimensional tree with that stone as kind of the anchor. Now, that's not really a piece of jewelry, so it's not something I'm going to cover here, but it is a really fun project. So if you want to try that, by all means, please do. So anyway, that's my just real quick variations lesson. There are going to be lots of ways to actually vary your tree and how it turns out, how wiggly and how many bends and stuff versus how straight your tree comes out to. They're all going to be a little bit different. Embrace that. They all should be different. Have a lot of fun with this. Take care and have a great day.